All right, let's talk about options for tires. First option is the one that came with the bike. These are tubes, inner tubes that go inside the tire. And what I chose to do first is try, many years ago, I tried the tubeless system. And the tubeless system involves a tiny inner tube installed in the center of the rim. This is with the tire off. You install this in the center of the rim along with a protective cover. And what happens is you blow this inner tube up to high PSI, 90 plus PSI, and it kind of seats the tire against the bead or the inside of the rim. And it also allows you to do extremely low tire pressure. And I like this setup. And I did get a flat with this once with my girlfriend on the back of, not this bike, but a 650L. And that's my wife. Back then she was my girlfriend. We took a ride up in the woods, got a flat tire with my tubeless system. And we probably traveled back to the truck, I want to say at least 3 to 5 miles on pavement, plus about a half a mile of dirt, with a totally flat tire and with the bead of the tire held in place with the tubeless system. So we made it back and my tire was trashed, had to replace the tire, but I made it back to the truck. So big plus for the tubeless system. And why don't I have it on there now? It's just a pain in the butt. I mean, it's a pain in the butt to get on, to get off, to change your tire. If you go through tires often, then you're just, it's really hard to get the tire off. It's a real pain. I mean, there are a lot of videos out there on how to do it. And if you've struggled through this same thing, getting your tire changed with the tubeless system on it, it's aggravating and I don't like it, so I just decided that that wasn't for me. The next thing I want to talk about is the Mousse. Made by the same company. This is the rear, this is the front, and these tire mousses have about, I don't know, I want to say close to 1,000 miles on them. And you can see that they're in fantastic shape. All of them. Now this is probably 85% trail use, so I would not expect these to be worn out or to have holes in them. And I like the fact that you cannot get a flat with these. I mean, the only indentation there is from the lock, the bead lock that I put in there, which I'm not even sure that that's required, but anyway, I put one in. And also, I've traveled down the road, down pavement with the Mousse in at 60 miles an hour for 20 to 30 minutes. No problems, no holes, no real shrinkage to speak of. Now, the other thing, the reason I switched these out is I could feel them getting a little bit smaller inside the tire. So it just made for a real squishy ride. And I decided that I would go back to tubes. These are also a pain to get inside the tire, to get mounted. You will lose your religion. If you're not swearing out of your mouth, you'll be swearing in your head the entire time that you're putting either one of these systems on. The nice thing about this, you charge a hill, you don't care about rocks, you don't care about jagged rocks coming back in your tire, you just do not care. You motor up the hill, there's nothing to worry about. I really liked that. You can just kind of, brute force the bike all the way up whatever trail you're going through for. With the tubes, with the tubeless system, maybe a little bit less with the tubeless, but with the tubes, of course, you have to worry about the pinch flats, and that's where you can get hung up a little bit on the rocks, and you're kind of watching your line a little bit better, and you don't want to go over certain rocks, and smoother rocks you'll go over, but even so, there's a chance for a pinch flat. But if you want something that's going to, if you're in an area and the riding is really rough and you get flats, these were great. I really like these. It's just impossible for your tire to go down. And I would say that you're going to get 1,000 miles out of these, no problem, even if you do hit the street for 20, 30, 45 minutes, maybe even more. I don't really know what these guys are doing, but I know that I had great luck with these. The tubeless system, again, it's a pain in the butt, but you can get a flat with these. Unlike the Mousse, you can get a flat with these. So if I was in an area where I was getting flats on a regular basis, I just wouldn't hesitate to go with the Mousse. It's just a better system. The ride quality is where you're going to suffer. And you can see, with all my force, this Mousse is only going to be compressed so far, which means when you get to that point where it's finished compressing, then you really feel the hit on the trail, on the rock, on the stump, whatever it is. As soon as this give is gone, you really feel the hit through the handlebars. So you're not going to get that hard hit through tubeless or through the tubes, but you will get it through the Mousse. But if you want no flats, I mean, this is the way to go. If you're out in the desert or if you're out doing some riding, a lot of sharp objects, I think this is going to be your choice right here. I go for a little bit of feel. I'm back to tubes now. So that's my review on the tubeless, on the Mousse, and the tubes. I'm back to tubes just because I go in areas where I don't get a lot of flats, so I'm not as concerned. If I were out in the desert, I would probably go back to a Mousse, or at least do a Mousse for that specific trip. I would probably put these back in there, do my trip, and then swap out for tubes. All right, hope you guys are having a great day. Woods in the City, out.